Bowling with the Fef.
Bowling with the Fef.
Are you ready?
Ready.
Your bowling stories.
They found you.
They did.
Fef's all over.
Every week.
Bowling has picked back up again.
Live.
PW Whitewater.
There it is.
Why the fedora? Do I look good in it?
I think you look great in it.
I want to challenge Skylar Pence.
Mike Hatton.
Let's do this.
Roll 'em.
This is Bowling with the Fef.
Well, good evening, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Bowling with the Fef, a platform for you to share your unique bowling story. I've got a great bowling story for you tonight. Of course, we've got one of the content creator of all content creators, someone who has had a meteoric rise in bowling content creation. Can't wait to get her out here to tell her story. It's kind of funny. My son, who you can kind of see over one shoulder here, he's in the picture back there, had student teacher conferences this week, and we're talking to his homeroom teacher, and he's talking about bowling because it's a new season and he's getting into it, all that stuff. And the teacher is talking with him about bowling and what do you average and all this stuff. And he says, "What's worse than a split?" And without hesitation, I'm telling you, no hesitation, he immediately says, "A lily." And I couldn't have been prouder, because I wish I could answer something like that fast. And, kid's 13 years old, smarter than dad, wouldn't you know? But yeah, he's got a great future ahead, and certainly no pressure from dad's side of things. I'm just glad he enjoys it, and hope you guys are having a great league season too. And tournament competition this week, it's a big one, certainly for those of you who are making the trip down to Chandler, Arizona. The Agent Ong Open starting up tomorrow, the trilogy. Best of luck to all you who are taking on some of the best really in the world down there. Carl Ong always puts on a great event at Bolero Kyrene. And a little closer to me, just a touch, right? Eau Claire, Wisconsin, the Stout Open at Bullwinkle's, right in my neck of the woods. Bunch of college teams, mostly from Wisconsin, Illinois, and Minnesota, coming on over to do battle on the lanes at Bullwinkle's in Eau Claire. Best of luck to those folks too. It will most certainly be a great time over there. Well, a big day for one of the stars of the PWBA, as we found out on Facebook earlier today, a five-time champion, Dasha Kovalova, announcing on Facebook today that she is now a United States citizen. She made that announcement on Facebook this afternoon. In a post, she said it was a long journey to citizenship, but now she's there. She thanks Billy and Robin for being there for her. I'm going to guess that's Billy and Robin Orlikowski. Robin certainly had a lot of photos and videos of Dasha during that process in her stories today. She also shared Brunswick's post about it, saying she couldn't have done this without her company's support of her and her career. A beautiful moment for her, I'm sure, and her family. Kovalova is from Ukraine. She has won 5 times on tour, including the 2019 USBC Queens, also one of the more decorated collegiate athletes in the sport after a wonderful run at Wichita State University. So congratulations, Dasha, and her friends and fans, I'm sure, very excited to know that she is now a United States citizen. Well, only the best tournaments get held twice in the same calendar year, right? And I'd count the Big Ten championships among them. You will see the 2025-2026 version live here on the channel. It returns to Bolero Mount Prospect on December 6th and 7th. We have 10 schools bringing men's and women's teams, varsity and JV, trying to prove their worth among their Big Ten rivals. The last Big Ten championships was at the end of January and beginning of February, and saw Ohio State's men and Purdue's women leave Bolero Mount Prospect as champions. Who will it be this year? Well, you'll have to watch live to find out, and you'll see both days of competition right here on the Bowling with the Fef channel. And then, in a tradition that dates all the way back to Thanksgiving week 2022, the Feftacular, returning to Village Bowl and Social in Menominee Falls, Wisconsin, Wednesday, November 26th, 6:30 p.m. The world champion Serbski's club is in action in the Wednesday Tippers League as we speak. They're in 4th place out of 15 teams coming into play tonight. They're behind the Big Ballers, KP Chuggers, and league leaders Rolling Thunder. I'll be joining the team for 3 card games, the Halfway There Choir, and of course, bowling for Chip Magnet Salsa at Feftacular 4. Be there or check it out live on the channel. It is always a blast and certainly a tradition on Thanksgiving Eve. Don't forget, we do have an Etsy store, etsy.com/shop/bowlingwiththefefco. T-shirts and hoodies available anytime right there. Also, proud to let you know that our 2 sponsors are on board for the next year. Big thank you to Jerry's Score More Bowling Supply inside Wagner's Lanes in Eau Claire, Wisconsin. Bowling balls, bowling accessories, expert level coaching. Jerry's got it all. You can get a hold of him at 715-559-1822. Visionary Video Hub, video with impact. Find out more at visionaryvideohub.com. And Chip Magnet Salsa. As I mentioned, the Feftacular wouldn't be the Feftacular without Chip Magnet. And if you go online right now, chipmagnetsalsa.com, order a 6-pack and enter that promo code BWTF2025. You'll get 25% off, and there is no limit on that. So you can stock up. It's great stuff for Halloween, Thanksgiving, all the holidays. Your family will love it. Hot, medium, or mild. I'm telling you, I'd go with the mild or the medium. But if you're into hot stuff, they've got you covered. Chip Magnet, raise your snack standards if you'd rather. They are also on Amazon. Just search for the Chip Magnet store and stock up. Great stuff. Well, tonight's guest has quickly jumped into household name territory in the bowling industry, just as quickly as she's probably jumped into your feeds on social media over and over and over again. Her success on TikTok, where more than 61,000 currently follow her, caught the eyes at Brunswick HQ in Michigan. Then on Instagram, her follower count is 6 digits strong. YouTube is also strong for this creator, known as Sarah Bowles, but it's Sarah Rutherford personal profile on Facebook that's really been the key for this Sarah Bowles empire. Sarah joins us from Sandusky, Ohio, where she is from. You know, Sandusky is the place that you may know because of the movie Tommy Boy. Although Tommy Boy was not filmed in Sandusky, they do have a Tommy Boy festival there. So, Sarah, first of all, welcome to Bowling with the Fef. Before I go too, nerded out on Tommy.
No worries. Thank you so much for having me.
I'm guessing that people say that to you a lot when they hear Sandusky.
I feel like I've heard like one other person ever say that, and I've never heard of a Tommy Boy festival. I've never heard of that. So
I saw it when I Googled, and I'm a big fan of the movie. A lot of people around here are, just because of the Chris Farley connection, him being from Wisconsin. And then I think there's a scene where they flash a sign that says Chippewa Falls, which is about 10 minutes from me.
Yeah.
And that's all it takes for people around here to go.
Yeah, they're just ready to go. They're diehard fans now.
Oh yeah, for sure. But no, that's kind of a cool little semi-fact, quasi-fact about Sandusky. But
either if there is a festival, I will be in attendance. I'll vlog it. So
okay, cool.
I got you.
We want to know.
Right.
Yeah. But you did get out of Ohio over the summer. And I was pretty happy to learn that this summer was the first time that you got to check out Junior Gold.
It was actually my second time. I went last year in Michigan. Yes. Oh, well, I spent so much time in Michigan, I feel like, so no one ever just like thinks anything of it.
You're pretty close to Michigan there.
Yeah.
Okay. So tell me about the experience. What host centers did you go to? What'd you think of it?
I follow a couple of different youth bowlers, and I have some from like right around where I'm from that I follow, but then also a couple of them from TikTok that I've connected with on TikTok. One of them is pretty much like my little sister at this point. Talk to her and her parents on the daily. So we spent a lot of time at Buzz Social, and was the other one like Super Bowl maybe?
Yep.
And then the boys centers, we had like 4 different boys squads. So I think I literally managed to go to every single one of them.
Okay.
It feels like a fever dream though. There's so much travel in that, trying to make like every single one of their squads or like splitting squads between bowling alleys is just a lot of work. I had commitments for 10 bowlers
Wow.
to hang out with them, to watch them, to whatever while I was there this year. So that was a lot more than the previous year where I only had 3, but
Yeah,
it was fun. It was super fun.
that sounds like a lot. Did you make it all the way up to Weston Lanes, which is like an hour and 20 minutes away?
Like honestly, I can't even remember. Like at this point, I want to say yes. Like it sounds very, very familiar, so I want to say yes.
Okay.
Maybe on like one of the last days,
Sure.
but off the top of my head, like it really feels like a fever dream. Like there's just so much going on, and I was like meeting so many people and taking so many pictures and just doing the most then. So yeah, it was a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. That was, I believe, the first junior gold to ever be held in Wisconsin. So of course we're all crazy.
Yes.
Would you say that the experience is kind of comparable to the one you had in Michigan?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, everything ran really smoothly. I want to say like all of the centers that all of like even in Michigan, but when we were in Wisconsin, all the centers were so nice. Like kept up like with everything, like the lane breakdowns. I don't think I saw a single lane breakdown at all. The centers were just really, really nice, and that's super refreshing to see because a lot of times when you watch people bowl league or things like that, or like in my space online, you get a lot of the typical like little things here and there. But it was really nice in that major competition to see how well some of the centers ran under pressure.
Yeah. The folks in Green Bay are really fortunate to have some really well-run centers in that area. One of them is Willow Creek. And I thought I
Yes.
saw some video of you bowling there. What was
I
going on?
did. We did the adult youth tournament there.
Okay. All
Yeah,
right.
it was super fun. Um, I struggled at first, and then once I took my 2 games to warm up, then I was locked in, ready to go. And I actually met a ton of friends during that. People that were on my pair are mutual friends with some of my TikTokers,
Okay.
and I actually just went to see them in Tennessee this weekend. So
Oh,
that's kind of cool that but yeah, Willow Creek was really, really nice once I got my line figured out.
sure. Yeah. That's
Yeah.
that's a place that I ended up bowling league at for I'd say about 9/10 of a season.
Yeah.
And I can relate. I struggled there early, and it took
Yes.
me a while to kind of get used to the shot. So you're not the only one. So
Good to know. Good to know.
yeah, that kind of thing happens. But yeah, there's a lot of great players that bowl at Willow and at Schwabenon and Buzz Social and the others. When you meet someone from TikTok or from one of the other platforms for the first time, and I'm sure a lot of them like point and go, "Oh my gosh, it's
Yeah.
you."
Yeah.
What's that like for you?
At first, I think I was more nervous than the people that were coming up to me. Like when I went to my intercity tournament last year, and that was the first time that I had ever taken a picture with anybody that I had ever been recognized at all. And these were like grown adults that I was like taking pictures with, and it was very like, this is so weird. And then the people that I was bowling with, kind of made a joke out of it. Like anytime, you can feel when someone's like watching you or like when they're like, whatever. And so then the joke is now like, oh, me, is that Sarah Bowles? Like within no matter who I'm with. So that kind of like made it a little bit easier. Nowadays, I'm super like inviting to whoever. Like when we were just in Tennessee on the drive home, we were at the Bucky's and I saw 3 girls that asked to take pictures from a college team. So like that was just really cool. I love meeting people now, and I always tell them, "Let's take a pic, tag me in it, like, I'm more than happy to follow you." Like,
Yeah,
the whole 9. It's just really cool to see, like, other people that, like, know me without, like, knowing me, and
yeah,
I feel like I am from, like, a fairly small town, so, yeah, it's just cool.
yeah. And I'm sure it's cool for them too. Obviously, the name makes sense, Sarah Bowles.
Yeah.
But how did you land on it?
So, this is crazy. My name is Stolen Valor right here, swear. There was on TikTok when I, like, had first started, I was probably I don't know, I started in, like, October, November of 2022. This is probably in, like, February of 2023. My name on TikTok had always just been, like, my first and last name,
Mhm.
And then I was like, well, I guess if I'm only posting bowling, which is the only thing I ever intended on doing anyway, I need to like come up with like a relevant name. And there was this kid on TikTok that I was friends with. His name was Peyton, and his thing was Peyton Bowles. And I was like, hey, Peyton, I'm stealing your name. And he was like, go for it. So then it just became Sarah Bowles. And it like, it's never changed. Like, I'm stuck with it now.
Yeah. Yeah. So what did Peyton think when this thing started blowing up?
Um, he doesn't post anymore. Like, I haven't seen his name or haven't talked to him like in a while. He took like a break of some sort for whatever reason, and so I haven't seen him in a while. But the last time we ended up in like a group chat together. You know how there's like just those random like group chats out there, and he was like, "Yeah, she actually stole my name," and I was like, "You can have it back now if you want it. Like, if you need it now, like, it's all you."
No, don't give it back.
Yeah. Well,
No,
sometimes some.
you can have it back, but it'll cost you.
Okay, that's a good plan. I like that.
Peyton, talk to me. I,
Yeah, right.
I need a cut though.
Yeah, no, that's totally fine.
That's the contingency. You have prominently featured on many of your platforms that you are a professional league bowler. What is a professional league bowler?
So, March of 2024, I went to Turbo Tech in Michigan, and they helped me. This was before I got my surgery and everything, when I was dealing with a lot of wrist issues, and I was gonna have to like essentially quit for a while. And Turbo was like, "Hey, come up here, like we'll try to help you out," which they did. Super grateful for that because it held me over until I switched to the Sarge grip. But they were asking, what I did, and when I'm like, "Oh, well, I just post on TikTok, so like I just bowl league, like I barely even bowl tournaments, like I don't want to bowl more than 3 games ever." So they were like, "Oh, so you're like the professional league bowler," and I'm like, that kind of works. So shout out to Perry at Turbo, actually. He's the one who came up with it. And then everyone has just stuck with it since.
Wow. So Perry Crowell.
Yes,
Okay. So we've got Peyton and Perry who
that
are
did all the work.
really did all the work, and you just kind of
Yes.
let it come to you.
Yep.
Wow. This is a charmed life you're living in
It really is.
more ways than one.
Yes.
Wow. That's really cool. Let's kind of go back to the beginning, the origin story, because you've been bowling for quite a while, off and on. Let's start out when it started. How did it start? How old were you? What were the circumstances?
I want to say I was probably like 5 or 6. I don't, it was a long while ago. And my grandma was a bowler when she was young, and she was like, let's put you in like a youth league. So I bowled in this youth league. She got me my own ball. It was like a little Brunswick ball. It had my name engraved on it and everything. I very vividly remember the ball. I wish I had it. But, yeah, after that, we ended up moving, and then I just bowled in the Saturday morning youth league with all of the friends that I had made when I went to this new school, and we continued to do that forever until it came to high school bowling. We bowled in high school. Shout out to us, we made it to state all 4 years. We definitely took a L at state, though. And yeah, after that, I took almost 6 years off, from graduating high school until when I picked up a ball again. The job that I was at, some guy randomly was like, "Hey, you live in Vermilion, so did you wanna, like, bowl league out there? Like, we need a sub." And I was like, "That's really weird," because like, I never told this guy I bowled before. And so I just did it, and I shot, like, 640 or something, and this other guy in the league was like, "I need a full-time team member. You want to bowl?" And I was like, "Okay, sure." So that's where that started. And then I sucked. Like, I have deleted a lot of the videos since because like they're embarrassing. Like, I was so bad. And I thought that I was like doing good because like I was putting up numbers.
Mhm.
But yeah, so then I started, recording a couple videos here and there just to see what I was doing. And of course, once I started doing that, then other TikTokers would come up on my TikTok page of them bowling. And I was like, well, if they're doing this, like, I could do this. Like, I feel like I could manage that, and just for fun. And I posted 3 videos, and they absolutely blew up. Like, I had like 9 followers, and they were like my best friends. And then these videos probably got like 100,000 views. And I thought that this was like I made it now.
Yeah.
And yeah, after that, it just kept going. It took off. from there, and I literally don't know how I got here right now. Like, it's like, what in the world has happened?
Yeah. So tell me about kind of that break, right? You were on the high school team. I'm assuming, and explain this because different states do it different ways. I bowled high school in Minnesota. We were strictly Baker system. A lot of the Wisconsin high schools do it that way. Is that how you did it in Ohio?
No, we bowl even today, they bowl two like personal games. You have five bowlers and you each bowl two games. And then when I was in school, I want to say we only did three Baker games, but now they bowl like five or seven Baker games, and then it's total pinfall.
Okay. So, so you have some good runs. You go to state, um,
Yeah.
didn't really finish the way you wanted to, and you're just like, okay, that's it.
Yeah, pretty much. So when we were in school, bowling was not, we weren't walking around being like, oh, we're on the bowling team. Like, you were low key getting made fun of if you were on the bowling team. Um, we could have had like the coaches, they were, I didn't know what they were doing. Like, I thought they like wanted to be there like super, but it was like an overcommitment essentially. So everyone just kind of had that like down morale, I guess. So that's just what it like carried on. And I was just like too cool for bowling, Like, I wasn't doing anything else, but like I was too cool to bowl after school. And I didn't really even, I guess like when I was a kid, I went with like my friend's dad always while he was bowling league, we would open bowl, but I didn't like attribute that that was actually a league. So I didn't even know that there was like bowling after that.
Okay.
And then I went to college and graduated with my bachelor's degrees, and then got a job in the field that I thought that I was going to be in. And then I posted those couple of TikToks and that changed.
Wow. Yeah. Where'd you go to college?
I went to a local community college and then graduated from Cleveland State. And then that one degree was not enough. So then I graduated from the University of Toledo with another.
Okay. Cleveland's not a state, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Just gotta
I
make
wasn't going to be the one to tell them that, though.
I will.
Perfect.
Send them to me.
Yeah,
But
right.
but I say that because I also went to a Horizon League school in Milwaukee, so yeah,
Twins.
that's kind of our thing. But yeah, that's so 6 years go by, and you get asked to be on this team, and then it's every week. And is it just kind of a natural thing to shoot those videos? I mean, for me, and keep in mind, I'm more than 20 years older than you are. It was never kind of a natural thing. It was something that had to be very intentional. And I was doing this for content purposes. And I'm sitting here thinking, okay, I'm going to shoot video of other people bowling. Nobody wants to see me bowl.
Yeah, right.
This isn't Andrew bowls. This is no, this is bowling with the FEF, not bowling, of the FEF.
Right.
But take me through that mindset that tells you, okay, bowling comes with setting up the camera and collecting that content of yourself bowling.
So at first it wasn't like that. Like, I bowled, so the guy who asked me to be on the team actually like recruited me for like a Thursday night league and a Friday night league. And I've never had more fun in a league than that Friday night league, which, while I did bowl it a couple of times last season, I'm just not able to do it now. So I can't record that, but that is the most fun I've ever had in a league. So it was never like I was so present during it that I didn't like have to be on my phone. This Thursday night league, I didn't like, I don't want to say like didn't mesh with the people because we were all like super cool with each other, but it just like wasn't in a center with like good lighting. There was nowhere to put your phone. And up until I started recording YouTube videos, I literally, like, I'm talking about like I took my water bottle and like had my phone like propped up against it on a table to like film a video. Like, I didn't have a tripod, like no mics, no nothing. So I was just very low key about it. And then once it started growing a little bit more, everyone knew about it. So then they would try to like not walk in front of it and things like that. And then a couple of leagues got a little fussy about, walking in front of it. But yeah, off the jump, it was never to like record content. It was to see how terrible I was at bowling. Like, how did you just do that? And just like be able to watch it back because I didn't have a second set of eyes.
Sure.
So yeah, once everyone became more aware that I was like filming and that it was myself, then like it got a little bit easier to do. Like people just kind of like naturally got out of the way, I guess. And then I did try to like film like some of my friends and things like that, but you get a little bit of pushback from people who I don't know if they're like necessarily jealous or they're just uncomfortable with it or like a whole plethora of things, but people are like, I don't want to be online, I don't want to be in your videos, whatever. So that is a little bit harder to deal with, but at the time I was just posting like less than 20-second long clips of myself on TikTok, so that was okay. But once I started recording full leagues at my home center now, they want to be in it. Like they're like, can you get enough mics for all of us? Like I and like mind you, I both old people. Like it would be like a senior league, but it's like not labeled that. It's just like a morning league. So there's a lot of third shifters in it too. But yeah, they all want to be in it now, which so I've definitely found my home there.
Okay. And tell me about the transition for these folks between no, get that camera away from me to yeah, get me a microphone because I want to be in this. Because I think about that a lot, right? Especially when, I talk about the Feftacular, this team loves to be in it, but I don't necessarily know who they're bowling against every week. And if I'm going to set up all kinds of live streaming equipment for this one pair, I always thank my lucky stars that the opponents are good with it, right?
So it actually took me switching centers.
Oh.
I kind of last season I did bowl in the neighboring association quite a bit, but this year just because of other obligations and my current career, I don't have enough time to drive to those other centers. I did this summer in the other association, but I got out of like I guess kind of like a little bit more judgmental association and got in a more accepting one, and that's where I am now. And just to switch between centers also, they love it where I'm at. Super lucky for that. I do go to a different center on Monday nights for league, and there's a couple of people that are a little bit less interested in being in it, but no one has ever said anything. If they ever voice their opinion, I'm like more than happy to edit them out because that's just like less that I have to like worry about. But yeah, thankfully, knock on wood, that it stays like that for as long as I keep bowling league.
Yeah. Yeah. You typically, you were talking about shooting with a phone. Do you typically shoot with a phone or do you
Yes.
shoot with a camera at all?
So I had gotten a camera when I was bowling that Friday night league I was talking about, that it was my favorite, and some kid like punched a table and my camera went flying and it cracked the lens.
Oh,
It wasn't a super expensive camera or anything, but like it was better than my phone at the time, and that was the end of the camera for me. So then I just stuck with my phone, and I still record like I record my YouTube videos now like with my phones for any angle or anything that I do. I do have just a vlog camera now, but it doesn't like we vlog to like laugh at ourselves later.
okay. Yeah. And that keeps it easy,
Yes.
not as much stuff to lug around, all that good stuff.
Yes.
But then you got to find a way to edit it, right? Were you versed in video editing before all this?
No, my 2 degrees are in professional sales and medical science, so
Okay.
that has nothing to do with anything I do now. So I had to learn how I edited on TikTok forever.
Mhm.
Like loyal TikTok editor. It's still the easiest way to edit. And then once I started posting YouTube videos, then I was like, well, this isn't really gonna work. Or I actually did a couple more like in-depth, like cooler TikToks on CapCut. Like I used the free version of CapCut for like 3 days and I was like, this is way too hard. So then I paid for it and it got a little bit easier, but I taught myself, like, I don't know why I didn't think about watching a video or like instructions or anything, but like I just learned by trial and error off of CapCut and still diehard CapCut fan right now.
Okay. So you've gone CapCut basically the whole way ever since.
Yes.
Okay. All right. That's and I think about that because I don't know if you're familiar with my history. I was in local television for 16 years. So editing was not a problem for me. I was immersed in it full time, for speed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because getting back to a TV station with an hour to go before going on air,
You gotta go.
that's the environment I came from. So, I just got the same editing software, Adobe Premiere, and just went to town. But to come into this without having done it, there's a learning curve.
Oh, yeah.
As much as you edit on the TikTok app or on the Instagram app, it's going to be a little different. Were there times when you thought, oh my gosh, how am I going to keep feeding the beast?
Yes, all the time. Even like to this day. I remember there was just a couple of TikTok or YouTube videos that I was editing on CapCut, and I realized like once I filmed them that I had like no audio and I couldn't like save it. Like luckily now I'm able to kind of save it a little bit. Like it might not sound the greatest, but like it's better than no audio. Or that like something wasn't in focus. And like I said, like diehard CapCut fan, thank God it fixes it for you. Because if it didn't, like I don't know what I would do, but I am a professional crash out on editing with CapCut. As much as I love it, like it's the sole reason for most of my crash outs.
Okay. Yeah. You and I'll tell you, it's got to be, you kind of have to go at it with the mindset of perfect is the enemy of good, right?
Yes, and I am a perfectionist when it comes to the videos, and then when I can't, get the perfect video out, then I just take a hiatus from
Yeah.
it all, and that's never beneficial. Like you don't see any growth when you're not posting anything. So
Right.
yeah,
Yeah. It sucks you back in, doesn't it?
yep, always.
For sure. So you're humming right along on TikTok, right? And as I mentioned in the introduction, Brunswick took notice. As you mentioned before we started, I did talk to Nick Smith. He said that Sarah's channel on TikTok was discovered by her #1 favorite, Dave Kloss, here in Brunswick. I reached out to her not long after to pick her brain about TikTok, since I wasn't on it ever. And we just started chatting more. He said we were sending her some bowling balls for reviews on TikTok here and there, and then she really started having wrist issues. He said, while she was here, I told her she needs to start a YouTube channel and go long form. She came out a few more times after that. We filmed more content for both channels, and she saw some pretty substantial growth on YouTube thanks to popular reels, and it all started growing her longer form stuff. When was that you first visited Brunswick headquarters?
In August of last year.
Okay. So between August of last year and now, we're talking what, 14 months?
Yeah.
22,000 subscribers?
Yeah, and it wasn't even like I think I've gained like 2,000 subscribers overall this year because just like like to keep it real, my lack of posting last year, I was on a grind of doing it. And at the very beginning of this year, I was on a grind until my surgery, and that kind of made it a little hard.
Okay.
But yeah, I attribute a lot of that to just like the dedication that I had at the end of last year. Like going to Brunswick, it was pure motivation. Like it was so cool to be there. Like it was a dream to be there. Like it was like I just couldn't believe that, I was there and getting to do like what I wanted to do essentially. It was awesome, and super shout out to Nick for all of the help and allowing me to come out there. Love the Brunswick fam forever.
Yeah. And he does a live show with Phil from Radical called Perception versus Reality, which is a great watch if anybody hasn't seen it before. What's he like to work with?
He's super duper funny. Like he reminds me of like the bowlers that I bowl with in like my morning leagues, to be honest. Like not saying that he's extra old or anything, but um no, he's super funny, and he's really, really knowledgeable, like especially in not just bowling, but also in like the YouTube area. So it's just like I don't know how to describe it really. It's really cool to like just be able to, I guess, pick his brain about like something that he is so like talented in. It's really awesome. And the Perception versus Reality podcast is also awesome, super informational. Their banter that they have going back and forth is the perfect part of the show, like the great informational side, but also provides with a little bit of fun. But yeah, I think that banter is with anybody. Like Nick and I have plenty of it in the videos that we filmed. Yeah, he's just super fun to be around. The Brunswick facility is beautiful.
Yeah.
An absolute dream.
And they're a little edgy too. They don't pull any punches, which is kind of cool.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Because if you have kind of that dry sense of humor, and that's
Oh
kind of
yeah.
my sweet spot, you really appreciate that.
Yeah, you fit right in.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't even, and if like I don't know if like I kind of had that sense of humor, but then like going there, like, oh, you're gonna develop it now. Like as soon as you set foot in the door, like you're gonna develop it. And I'm cool with it because I think it's funny now.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so he mentioned the wrist issues. You did a couple times too. He got you into that Sarge Easter grip, which you used until you had surgery and then kind of worked your way out of it. For people who aren't familiar, tell us about that grip. It's one finger above the other. And I've spoken with Robert Smith on this show, and he's used it as well. But what did that do for you in that interim period where you were having problems?
So the overall purpose of it was to relieve pressure off of my wrist. There's plenty of pictures and videos everywhere about how disgusting my wrist looked before. It was like double the size of my other wrist. It was so swollen and it was just so painful. So when I went to Turbo in March, their idea was to help me relieve wrist pressure. And then when I went to Brunswick in August, that was also the plan. The Sarge grip shortened my overall span by quite a bit. Like I have a longer span and it shortened it a ton. And then my middle finger stayed in the normal or in the shortened span spot and it was just with a grip. And then the ring finger was a conventional drill. So it was really weird to get used to. I remember throwing like my first couple of shots with it. I'm like, I can't even feel the ball at all now, but the main goal there was to not have any wrist pain, and it did. I think that the first day that I bowled at Brunswick with the ball that Nick had just drilled with a Sarge grip, I probably bowled like 8 games.
Hmm.
Like it was and I couldn't even hold the ball before. Like I couldn't hold my own water bottle or my own hairbrush or anything with that wrist because I just had no grip pressure.
Wow. Okay. So that was really the answer
Yes.
in
Yes.
that window of time. When you had the surgery afterwards, did you try to use it again?
Yeah, I did because it felt safe almost, and I still deal with wrist pain now. I had my surgery in March, and so I don't know, is that like 6 months or this like 7 months now, like post-op? And my wrist still looks kind of terrible. It's really swollen. Um, yeah, some days even I do go back to the Sarge grip. Like I have so many bowling balls that are drilled with a Sarge grip now. So once I just like it's just too much pressure on my wrist and it really just isn't feeling good. Like I always have that fail safe of the Sarge grip, thankfully.
Okay. And I think I remember you saying in one of the videos that you throw 14.
Yeah, so that was the next thing. I did throw 15 and Nick had me switch to 14 when I went to the Sarge grip and that also helped. I think it's what I've still been sticking with now just because I think that's what I'm used to and the less pressure on my wrist as it's continuing to heal will always be beneficial.
Okay. Yeah, I just did that within the last several months too. So
It's hard to get used to, but once you're there, you don't feel the difference.
it is. It is hard to get used to, but yeah, I'm hoping someday
Yeah, you'll get there.
I'll be to
Yeah.
that point. Yeah. Okay. So one of the other things Nick said is she's known for having a foul mouth in her videos. He said we had to check her a few times to tell her to cool it because kids watch the videos too. LOL. That's kind of your thing, right? It's your
Yes.
personality. And I told you, I come from TV. It was a different, way to be. We saw people getting fired for saying the wrong thing at the wrong time, but this isn't TV. This is
Right.
social media. It's different. What's your take on that? Obviously, it's not you're not holding back, but is there, are there pros and cons in your mind?
There definitely is, but with anything, there's always pros and cons, or I see it both ways, but as much as I see it, there are kids watching. I do have 5 younger siblings, so I know, like how it is when they're in school, and those kids are saying much worse things than I ever say in my bowling league video.
Mhm.
If it was like a super issue with the people that I was bowling with, then like it wouldn't happen, but they're worse than me. Like I mean like significantly worse, way more foul than I could ever be. And I've learned half of my language from them. So like we can attribute to that to like the senior league. So thanks guys. But yeah, there are I guess there is like a time and place which I do respect like some of my sponsors like wishes when it comes to that. Just like it's I feel like it's just a respect thing. But yeah, all of my social media, like my YouTube channel, my Instagram, my Facebook, it's all rated like not for kids, like 18 plus, like mature audiences. So if you're still finding a way to watch it, then it's kind of on you. Um, in a lot of my YouTube videos, I don't know why I shied away from it from a little bit, but it will be back once I start posting again. They are labeled like uncensored, like directly in the title or on the thumbnail. So yeah, it's just kind of, some people love it, some people hate it, and it is what it is. You can't make everyone happy, so I figured I would just stay as true to myself as I possibly can. And when I do edit it out, it does take way longer. And two, there's like no talking in it because, like I said, not only do I talk like that, but everyone that I bowl with also talks like that. So yeah, it's just kind of like six of one, half dozen of the other for me. So that's why I try to do a couple videos where it's not in it and a couple videos where it is in it to please everyone, but no one will ever be happy.
Yeah, that's true. You can't please them all. And there is, everybody's different. There is something to say about being authentic. We're always
Yeah.
told to be authentic in videos, and that's obviously part of who you are. So, I mean, I certainly can't judge because
Right.
it's part of who you are. Nick says your favorite line is probably, "Bro, I'm so cooked, bro, durr." What does that even mean?
I used to say so like at the time, right? Like last year, like around this time, like I'm so cooked was like the thing to say.
Okay.
So then when we were at Brunswick, like that's just all that would like come out of my mouth was just I'm cooked, I'm cooked. He added the rest of all of that nonsense, which is why I just called him old because thank you so much for that. Yeah, he's closer to 50 than he is 40, just in case anyone was wondering.
So,
But yeah, that it was just the trend of the time.
okay.
Like kids now are like saying 6, 7. So like be ready for that in my next videos.
Okay. I'm also closer to 50 than I am 40. So
Well, it's not an attack towards you, just him.
no, I was going to say I can sympathize with him not knowing the current lingo and all that stuff. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, if he's going to make up stuff, yeah, that's.
The dir is great. Like I don't think I've ever said that in my life.
Well, you just did.
Yeah, there we go. First time just for him.
First time. Like I said, you've had a lot of great stuff happen because of the success on social media, but it's not all sunshines and rainbows. First, you've got keyboard warriors, right, who come into the comments and they've got to nitpick at this and that. Tell us about how you deal with that. Have your thoughts on that or responses to it kind of changed or evolved over time, or do you think you've been kind of the same in regards to people who maybe let their opinions kind of rule the day a little bit?
At first, I was always willing to argue with anyone over anything. It was kind of like my fun on social media. Like that sounds crazy, but like, if everyone else can do it, like why can't I? Just because like I have a few followers, like what's the difference?
Yeah.
And then there became a time where I was like cool on it. I'm over it. There's got to be better things to be doing with my time. And again, like I don't know if they have other responsibilities or not, but like they spend a lot of time willing to argue. Now I do like go back now. Like I just commented back on something today. So, people still do see it, but it is what it is. Like if you're gonna comment that, they're gonna be like, well, oh, it's because you post something online, so you're open for comments, you're asking for it, whatever. Okay, fine. So then when I argue back with you, I don't want to hear it. And I don't know if that will ever change. Cause like just because I am posting online, like doesn't mean that I am like asking for your criticism or your opinion on anything that I am posting. So 6 to 1, half dozen of the other, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. In the end, I mean, there are a lot more of them than there are of me or of you, and they're going to come in fast and furious. And sometimes it's good to have a little help, a little backing, right? So when I talked to Simon Kimber, who has been on my show before, and he, of course, is the brainchild behind 10-Pin Toolkit, he pointed me to this little exchange because he recalled you had posted about 10-Pin Toolkit, and somebody had something to say. It might be a little tough to see here in case it's not completely visible. He had responded to this post by saying, I chose to support Sarah Bowles because she's doing something different to all the pros in a way that is more relatable to an average bowler. That's what I think people like Leanne find inspirational. And regardless of whether or not Sarah has a 220 plus average, she's promoting the sport that we all love to many thousands of people. From a business/sponsorship perspective, obviously that's a big following. A big following is important. No company in bowling is signing people just because they have a high average. They're looking for people with a positive attitude to the sport who people want to watch and follow, and who will have a positive impact on their brand. For me, Sarah ticks off all those boxes, and I think the bowling world is better off with her in it. Tell me when you first read that, when you first saw that come up, because you get a notification for something like that. How'd that make you feel?
Well, immediately just overwhelmed with I just felt overwhelmed with support, having someone like Simon, who is one of my sponsors, who is a literal genius when it comes to the 10-Pin Toolkit app. Write something like that. It was just so heartwarming. I'm 99.9% sure I did shed a tear or two over that because it's just so nice. You I guess fight with people all day long online, and then you have someone who matters, right, to me, in these comments, supporting you, and that just feels so nice. So it was a nice change of pace, and absolute shout out to Simon for that. That was awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. Unfortunately, I think, that's going to kind of be a thing for, for your time on social media, for my time on social media. And unfortunately, we're going to have to deal with it, in our own ways. Another thing that it looks like you've had to deal with that fortunately I haven't, but may someday, are accounts that you flat out said on Facebook are stealing your content. When when that happens, tell me, how did you realize it was happening, and what's that like to deal with?
People shout out to Paula Miller too, the OG thief. Love her. Um, People would send me screenshots and be like, "Hey, this person's stealing your videos." I don't spend time on Facebook Reels. I'm not, yeah, I'm cool on all that. And so seeing my own videos with my own captions, my own hashtags, and everything was kind of what is this person doing? With the Paula Miller too, the OG account that was taking my stuff, I submitted my everything to Facebook to say that hey, these are my videos, here's everything that they asked for, including my birth certificate and the whole nine. And then they were like, yeah, sucks to be you. So I was like, well, Paula Miller's gonna run out of videos at some point. She's gotta. And then she did. So that was awesome. And then we developed the next one who went into Sarah Fun on Facebook. Shout out to them, have more followers than me, probably making more than me, just stealing my videos with my profile pictures, and my personal page pictures. Actually, the cover photo is my dead dog, so love that. Yeah, that Facebook will do nothing about it. So
Oh, that's awful. Nick Hogan, who is another one who's been on the show, says Sarah is the most funnest social media person in bowling. I love to watch the videos when they come across my reels. Yeah, I mean, like I said, your stuff is really coming across a lot of people's feeds.
yeah.
I don't know what you're doing, but you've got the secret sauce going somehow.
Yeah, like I said, I don't know how I got here. Like I have no idea. Like I just posted consistently and that was it. Shout out to Nicholas for making that comment. I appreciate you, man. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know how it happened. I would just say I post consistently, or I did post consistently. I've kind of like slacked off recently, but I did post consistently. And if something wasn't working, I am not afraid to delete a video and then repost it with different hashtags, or maybe I mix up the shots a little bit better in the video. Like if I'm just bowling, just anything to make the video succeed. And now that was when I was like super focused on the analytics of everything. Nowadays, I'm more worried about like promoting the sport and just having fun with what I'm doing because I don't know will it last forever or not.
Mhm.
So now I'm not so much into the deleting the videos or worried about the view count and things like that, but just more am I proud of the content that I'm putting out?
Yeah. Yeah. And you should be. Matt Zweig, hell of a bowler from the Southwest. I love Sarah Bowles.
Shout out to Matt Bowles. He's one of my best friends that I've met online actually.
Yeah. Yeah. I had an opportunity to interview him at the All-Star weekend for the PBA. He's a former Agent Ong champion. Hopefully
Yep.
they're trying to grab another one this weekend. So at some point here, last year at the Tournament of Champions, which is somewhat near you, and I should also mention this is about the closest I've gotten to in there. It was locked. They didn't. But you got in there, and you said I talked to Matt Ogle because I saw a video that you were in on Andrew Anderson's channel, and you guys were talking about Ogle because you had his eyes on your
Yes.
team. And he said that he always tells you that you wouldn't have blown up as fast if he hadn't asked you to film him at the 2024 TOC. I obviously chose the wrong tournament to take this video of him, but tell me about that experience of shooting video of Matt and what it was like to work with him.
So that's absolutely a crazy comment. It's just ridiculous. But yeah, I was actually at what was it? Like the regional that happens like right before the TOC, and I was watching some of the local bowlers that I bowl league with in it. And I was, there, and I was just vigorously typing on my phone, and next thing you know, like Ogle and Sean Rash are standing next to me, and they're like, "Oh, who are you arguing with?" They're like, "Whatever, just making conversation." And I'm like, "Oh, this is actually what I do." And like I was arguing with some like random on Instagram or TikTok or whatever. And they were like, "Oh, no way." Like they looked me up, whatever. And he's like, "Oh, well, are you coming to the TOC?" And I'm like, "No, like I didn't plan on it." And he's like, "Well, do you want to? Because like you can come and hang out and like film some of my shots for me if you want." And so I did that. I went every single day. And then he made it, out of the qualifying in the TOC. So that was just a super fun experience. And then this year we got together. I did a little bit more of that, but then it was kind of like I was a special guest there instead of like being like hanging out with like Ogle, which shout out to Ogle for like letting me hang out. But also that comment is sort of diabolical.
Diabolical.
Yeah, that is a crazy comment.
Oh, I'll tell you, I was just glad he got back to me because I literally messaged him like 6 hours ago.
Oh yeah. He spends all that time on that phone and only got like 2,000 TikTok followers.
Oh, come on. He did admit though, you do a good job ignoring it and firing back at the haters for sure.
I really try. So that's the nicest thing he's ever said about me.
Really?
Yep.
Wow. Okay.
Easily.
All right. I got a couple more things for you since we're getting close to an hour here. I've seen you, I guess, wear the emblem and talk a little bit about the X League. What is the X League?
So it's actually the world's largest traveling bowling league. It's really just like your typical league that you bowl in. You go to centers that are like around an hour-ish away from you. people say like me and another guy at my home center could have teams. We could be like the franchise owners, and you have teams. They face off within each other as long as you have enough franchises within the area, and they have regional, state, and then this year coming up national championships for these little individual competitions. So it's just really like a miniature like USBC type of thing, with the associations being like franchises, things like that. Hopefully next season when they start, we will have an Ohio, league and some surrounding states. So I am working closely with George to be able to make that happen. Awesome. Love their, all of the people that are in it are super hardworking and they're down to earth. And when they asked me to help them out, I was absolutely honored.
Yeah. Yeah. George
Williams.
Okay.
He is the founder of the X League.
Okay. Gotcha. How about Dalton Stefani? Is he a bowler?
He was not a bowler prior to me. He came into my center a couple of times as like a open bowler and things like that. And yeah, the rest was history.
Yeah. He's bowling now, huh?
He is bowling. We're actually married now. And yes, he bowls league with me all the time. And we went this weekend and bowled in a couple of tournaments and things like that. So yeah, he is a bowler now.
Awesome. Well, congratulations on that. I'm
Thank you so much.
Somewhat recent, but
yes.
Hey, you know what? Just ask Mrs. Pfaff. Marrying a bowler is.
Yeah, he's got all the perks. Everyone was clowning me like, bro doesn't even have a ball. Bro doesn't even have shoes. Like, can I get a little bit of time to like figure it out? Yeah, and now he's hooked up and he doesn't average like 90 anymore.
There you
He
go.
averaged like 170 in Tennessee this weekend. What more could you ask for? Because I averaged less than him. So like,
you've created a monster.
Thank God, someone to hold up the team.
So, I've got to ask, because everybody does in these things, right? What is the goal? What is Sarah Bowles like shooting for with all this?
Honestly, I really I don't have an answer. I know it sounds crazy, but like, I guess to just grow my pages as much as I can, maybe not in the analytical form, but just to get a bigger sense of community. Like, I have been clinging to that sense of community. Like I said, all of the youth bowlers that I like went to junior gold with, or like Matt Zweig, just like all of these people that I've met through this community that I built is super important to me, and I hold it near and dear to my heart. So just growing that community is really important to me, whether that be through the number of followers or the views, or just whatever it takes. So I think that's the goal, is to just create a larger community of people who are interested in the sport and growing the sport for what it's worth. A lot of professional bowlers are looking to make more professional bowlers, and I have no interest in that, if we're being honest. Like, I never want to compete on tour. Like, I don't have the interest for it. I just am trying to create more league bowlers. Like, at one time, like I said, I had no idea that there was like league bowlers, right? Like, I didn't even know that was a thing. And I think a lot of people now, especially in my area, know that there is like a after high school thing if you don't like go to college to bowl. So that's really cool. But yeah, that's just my overall goal, is to see more growth in the community for bowling.
Yeah, that's a great goal. Helps us all. And best of luck with that.
Thank you.
Here's a way that I hope kind of goes along with that goal. Check this out.
Let's go off the sheet. Challenge a bowler to appear on a future episode.
I would like to challenge Will Madison.
I would say Diana Zavulova.
The better Russo, Lauren Russo.
We're looking for anyone who has a passion for the sport and a unique story to tell.
See, there's your pal Andrew Anderson knocking out the 10 pin at the USBC Masters. Good stuff. We spoke earlier about having you kind of call someone out, pick someone to maybe rattle the cage a little bit, see if they'd come on a future episode of Bowling with the Pfaff. What do you think, Sarah? Who would you like to challenge to come on a future show?
So there was a couple of people that immediately popped in my head, but when I said, that this person would probably give me a little bit of pushback over it, but I would push her to get on, is Darian the rookie bowler. Everyone, thinks that my growth is crazy. I have never been so upset when someone passed me in followers. And then once it finally did happen and I accepted it, never been so like encouraging. Like, please keep going. Like, please pummel me into the ground with your numbers. Like, I'm begging you. On TikTok, on Instagram, on YouTube, it's Darian the rookie bowler. She's out of Texas. Love her. Her content is super inspirational. She started as not knowing how to bowl at all, like alley shoes, house ball, and would definitely be giving me a run for my money now. So hopefully a meetup between us and a bowl off is in the works.
Ah, okay. All right. And it's Darian, Darian.
Yep, the rookie bowler.
Rookie bowler.
Yep.
On TikTok primarily.
TikTok, yep, is her biggest platform, but Instagram and YouTube, she's everywhere. I'm sure she has a Facebook even, but just like I said, I don't scroll through Facebook Reels that often. So
Sure. Okay. I'm gonna try and find her because I feel like
you'll be able to. I swear her numbers are greater than mine.
Okay, fair enough. I will take a look. If people want to find you, and I'm hoping I put this together correctly, best way to do it, probably Google Sarah Bowles.
Yeah, I
Okay.
say that as a joke, but it's also very realistic. If you just Google Sarah Bowles on like the first 3 pages.
Okay. Sarah Rutherford on Facebook. Linktree has all your links there with including social media, sponsors, all that good
Yep.
stuff. Okay.
And that is in all of my bios on every one of my social media platforms as well.
Okay, fantastic. If you haven't followed Sarah Bowles or seen her content, you should. And I don't know how she hasn't gotten to you yet, frankly, if you haven't seen it yet.
Stay blessed.
Stay blessed. Our next show is coming up week and a day from today. Do yourself a favor when you're done watching the live stream. Go and check out vintagebowling.net. You'll see a fascinating slideshow of high-quality images from vintage centers from all over the country. They're the work of Kevin Hong from Washington State, and we are going to be talking live with the man from behind the camera lens next Thursday, October 23rd, 7 p.m. Central, right here on the channel. That's one I've also been waiting a while to get on the show, so I'm happy to have Kevin coming on. Sarah, it's been a blast. Thank you so much for spending some time with us live, and good luck with growing this sport and doing what you do, and pumping out that content. We love to see it.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it. Spending time talking with you. I've had a lot of fun. So hopefully, maybe when I hit the next milestone, we can run it back.
Yeah, I would love to. I would
awesome.
Love to. Open
awesome.
And if you've got the time, I certainly do as well. So
perfect. Sounds great.
And everybody, thanks again for watching. Hope you liked it, and we will see you again next week.
Thank you for watching Bowling with the Fef. Pound the like button and subscribe button. It's the easiest way to support the channel, and it's free. Bowling with the Fef is brought to you by Chip Magnet. Raise your snack standards.
Jerry's Score More Bowling Supply inside Wagner's Lane. So Eau Claire, Wisconsin area's leader in bowling products and services since 1988. And Visionary Video Hub. Video with impact.
Email bowlingwiththefef@yahoo.com with questions or to appear on the show. You can also reach out on your favorite social media platform.